What's up, everybody? It's Bob's Three-Toed Warriors with the word on the streets. We're doing a mock draft today. We're doing 10 Team PPR. We're going to do that right now. So here we are, Studio 1329, Word on the Streets. This is season 1. This is episode 27. And got a great guest on here with me. I got Bob from I-80 Sports. He joined me on the live stream. And I guess I didn't scare him off too much. He's coming back. He's going to do a little 10-team PPR mock with us. How's it going, Bob?
It's going great. This is actually my first mock of the year. We talked a little bit off camera. I'm just working on my rankings now. Usually I spend the first part of the off season going over the depth charts and really grinding into the off season changes, coaching staffs, that kind of thing. So I'm ready to go.
I dig it. I love it. I'm in the middle of, I say in the middle. I've only done 5 teams. That's the front of the middle, I guess. Doing my rankings, so I'm not using mine for this. That's okay. I got them in my head. And we're going to roll out 2 different draft strategies for everybody here. Before that, tell everybody what you got going on as far as where they can find your shows, stuff like that. You know, what's the world of Bob like? The other Bob.
You can find us at i80sports.com. Right on there, we have our link tree, which opens up real nice. You can find us on whatever audio podcast platform you prefer. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/i80sports, and Twitter, I guess, at i80sports, although that's kind of spotty. Okay. Kind of a twice-a-day project.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah, people can still find you there, right? I can be found on Twitter at Bob's Three-Toed, on YouTube at Bob's Three-Toed Warriors. There is a Facebook page. It's the Word on Streets Facebook page. And there's an Instagram. There ain't nothing on it, just the logo. But you want to go sit there and smile at my logo, go for it. Someday I'll figure that crap out. Shows come out Mondays and Thursdays. Live streams are currently on Wednesdays, and the replay of them is on Saturdays. That's what's going on over here. If you're enjoying the show, and I hope you do enjoy the show, please follow me. Please follow my guests, because we appreciate it. Give those subscribes, those 5-star ratings. It's very helpful. All right. So on today's mock, I said we're doing a 10-team full PPR mock. It's just the 2 of us live going against the computer. But the main part here is we want to help people out in their draft strategies. And yes, this is only a 10-team. It's a more basic, not super deep draft that we're doing. But Bob, the other Bob, is going to go with the I like that one. That one's sticking. The other Bob's going to go with going in the 5th spot, and he's going to go with a more running back heavy approach and late quarterback approach. I'm going to go from almost the turn. I'm going to go with the 9th pick. I'm going to go with not staying away from running backs. I'm going to take one probably in the first 4 picks. Hopefully not 2, maybe 2. But I'm trying to get those elite players at the wide receiver position, the top 6 quarterbacks. That's the goal. We'll see where I end up, see if the computer snipes me. I swear the computer's listening sometimes. And then, I might get one of the top 2 tight ends if they fall to the right price for me. If I can get them, hopefully I would like to get one of them in the 3rd round. I really don't want to go 2nd round for them, but we'll see what happens there. So it'll be interesting, but it'll give you 2 different perspectives on 2 totally different perspectives is the idea. And as we're going through, I'll call out the picks for those listening on the audio, not watching on the YouTubes. And then we'll kind of say what our thoughts are here, since we are going 2 different draft strategies and we're really not going next to each other. We don't have to worry about sniping each other, so we can talk those strategies out loud. And the idea is not to have full breakdowns on players, just to let you get inside these crazy heads of the 2 Bobs for a minute. Bob in our heads. All right. That was pretty interesting.
All right.
He's just like, yeah. All right. So I should probably bring you into the picture too. There we go.
That helps. Here.
My bad.
I'm alive.
I usually start on split screen. I don't know why I didn't there. So I was trying something new. And
it says on it, you're in the show. Everyone can see and hear you. So it's like, oh, what am I not seeing that everyone else is?
You're not seeing yourself.
I'm here. There we go. You're not missing much, but
there we go. So those listening on the YouTube, it sounded about the same, or on the audio, it sounded about the same. All right. So here we go. Let's get this bad boy started. Let me find the start button. That's always a good thing.
I think we know what's going to happen with the first.
That's right. So we're going to begin the draft, and here we go. It begins right meow. All right, Christian McCaffrey, no surprise, goes first, followed by Michael Thomas. Look at that. Little surprise to me. I think it's a surprise a little. Alvin Kamara, and then Saquon Barkley. That was interesting. What do you think about that?
I love it. Kamara, I'm actually pretty low on. He's actually my third tier. That's below Derrick Henry, who's in the second tier all by himself. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey is the number one. Saquon would have been great if he fell. There's really three guys here that I really, really like. Obviously, Zeke Elliott. Dalvin Cook, I'm very high on. Actually, in my preliminaries statting out, Dalvin Cook was actually I had him ranked higher than Zeke Elliott just on a blind tasting. But I also really love Joe Mixon here too. Joe Mixon is one of those guys for me that's going to jump into that second tier, especially with changes in Cincinnati that's going to make that offense better. He's the guy, and with T. Higgins, Joe Burrow, it's only going up. Don't forget, guys, Jonah Williams, first round offensive lineman. He is healthy this year, and if he's on that starting offensive line with Suofilo on the other side now, it's going to be good. It's going to be a good year for Joe Mixon. I have to stay true to my board here, and I'm going to take Zeke Elliott because we can rationally assume he's caught COVID, which means he's immune. So,
all right. And no surprise here, and I'm kind of glad it happened this way. So we are on eight picks. After Zeke went to you, Derrick Henry went next, then Joe Mixon, then Dalvin Cook. Just a massive run. Out of the first 8 picks, 7 were running backs in a full PPR. And I feel that is completely the way this year is going. And when you think about it, it's almost going that way just based on this magical hype train that we've all created, because everybody just said, yeah, we're all taking running backs early, and then the whole world's just starting to do it, I think. If everybody was like, it's time, let's not do that, it would probably be more normal. But I think it was a self-creating prophecy that kind of happened with these running backs. It isn't at all necessary, but if you want them, you got to get them early. So luckily for me, a lot of good ones left the board, so my temptation to take one is a lot lower. And I'm looking here at Devontae Adams more than likely because I do want a top wide receiver. Clyde Edwards is there. It's a little too early for him. I do love this scenario. I am going to grab him in another league where I have the 101, but I'm not grabbing him here because that would be defeating what I said I would do. Miles Sanders, Kenyon Drake is there. Then Tyreek Hill, Josh Jacobs, and Julio Jones. So I got a shot at 2 of those players in there. And I like Devontae Adams' targets, I think, in a full PPR.
He's the only one there.
Hill. Huh?
He's the only one there. I mean.
So that's what I'm going to snag. And then let's see what the computer does here on the turn. We're going to keep this simple. And, of course, I hit the wrong button. And let's not watch him. I do this every damn time on my first pick. Nope, that's not the right button. There we go. There was a plus sign. I swear I hit it. Okay. So the computer takes Clyde and then swings around and grabs Tyreek Hill for it. So they're stacking the that'd be crazy if they came around and Mahomes won't make it that far. That'd be interesting. So they took Clyde, and now here I could take a shot at a running back. And I could take a shot at Mahomes. Lamar. There's a chance that Lamar, Travis Kelce, or Mahomes could come back to me in the third. And going this strategy and trying to get those elite players, I think I'm okay with. There's not a chance those guys make it back to me in 14 picks.
No, I think you're looking really. I mean, full PPR. I think there's one guy who jumps out more than the rest for me.
Who do you think jumps out to you?
Julio.
Yeah, and full PPR, you could be totally right there. If
Atlanta's defense only got worse. So.
Yeah, and I'm trying to avoid the running back. So let's do that, and let's see what happens on the way back. I really want to try and get one of those top wide receiver tight ends. I didn't want to reach for it right there. I think it would have felt a little better if it was 12-team, but 10-team just felt too early. All right, so next, more running backs. Here they go. Kenyon Drake, Josh Jacobs, and Miles Sanders.
I am okay with that. Miles Sanders, by the way, I was looking up some numbers. Miles Sanders was the second running back on his own team over the last 4 games last year when Boston Scott really stepped up. So seeing him go a spot before me, he's basically off my board, just meaning he's low enough that everyone else is going to be drafting him before I do. If I'm going to stay true to my board, let's see. Drake is off. I guess next on my board is going to be Austin Eckler. Of course, in a full point PPR, I think that's
I love
a
that.
better choice than Nick Chubb, who is an incredible player, but I think just Austin Eckler for opportunity's sake here in a full PPR. Starting out Zeke Eckler, I really like what I have coming back to me in the end.
They were Mahomes. Right after you took Eckler, which I love Eckler. That was a good pick. Right after you took Eckler, Mahomes left, then Aaron Jones, then Hopkins, Nick Chubb. There went Travis Kelce, so he's off the shot for the off the. I might get what I want here. Chris Godwin went next, then Todd Gurley, then James Conner, and we're back to you. You are 2 running backs to start your team. You have Zeke Elliott and Austin Eckler. That's 2 fantastic. I would love to start a draft with those 2 guys.
I would like to too. Funny how that works out sometimes. By the way, we talked about our strategies last night, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing tight end quarterback. So it's not by random chance. There is some talent here left on the board for sure, but I think when you're looking at 3 third round, 5th pick, and Mike Evans is still on the board, he's maybe it's a step down from Brady, but he's just such a big target. He could be that Gronk in that offense that Gronk also happens to be on. But I really like what I see there. Galladay is they're back to back in my rankings actually. Galladay, Evans, yeah, and they're within a point away. At this point, Galladay or Evans, I can't. You got the greatest route runner in football and the biggest route runner in football. I'm going to take Mike Evans here.
Nice. All right, so you take Mike Evans. After that, Kenny Galladay. Love Kenny Galladay. Shit. Damn it.
And Lamar Jackson.
Right. So I wanted Mahomes or Jackson or Kels or Kittle. I wanted one of those guys here in my first 3 picks. I didn't want to reach for him on the turn on there, and so I took the chance. And right before me, who goes? Lamar Jackson and George Kittle. I would have loved to have either one of those in the 3rd round and had a little positional advantage. All right, so now I wait. Now I wait until next turn, till the end of the 5th, and I'm hoping the computer lets me have one of the top 6 quarterbacks, like a Dak or someone like that. That's what I'd love to have a Dak. I'd love to have a Kyler Murray, someone in that ilk who kind of still feels like they got a lot of upside, and I won't have to stream and worry about that kind of streaming thing. Tight end, I feel like it might be too early to grab Ertz this year, but I think Ertz still has a lot of upside because those Eagles are falling apart at the seams at the wide receiver core. Maybe they'll be healthy. Maybe they'll be better. I just don't think they will. One's running,
that's
getting
really
in trouble.
tough.
One's injured. It's like, say again.
I actually talked a little bit about the Eagles depth chart on my last podcast, and
I'm going to cut in real quick.
Yeah, go
I'm going to steal Leonard Fournette because I want the clock running out on me. I'll steal him in a second. Leonard Fournette to me has a lot of upside if he's going to be my first running back, and I don't like the running back crap coming to me. And since I'm going to try and grab some other stuff, I need to at least get one running back here, and I like him quite a bit over David Johnson, Chris Carson, if he's going to be healthy. Melvin Gordon, is he going to be sharing too much? We don't know. Lev Bell, supposedly he's out of the doghouse. We shall see. So I like Leonard Fournette here. I think his chances are good. You were saying on your last show?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was talking about the upside of JJ Arcega-Whiteside just because he's literally the only person there who's ever practiced with that team before. And it looks like he's covering, both positions. They have Rager doing all 3. So with Jackson and Jeffrey, questionable, hurt, old, JJ Arcega-Whiteside was the 2nd round pick last year. Let's not sleep on him just because he didn't have the opportunity in his first go. That's like a deep sleeper, like last round pick, just throwing darts. But JJ Arcega-Whiteside, someone to keep your eye on.
Very nice. All right, so I've got I like my team so far. I got Devontae Adams, Julio Jones, and Leonard Fournette. Right after Leonard Fournette, Melvin Gordon, David Johnson left the board. I'm okay with that because I didn't want to be tempted to take them. Adam Thielen has a great opportunity to have a rebound year. That offense does want to try and run, but man, he has some opportunity in front of him being the main man in town. That is extremely tempting and probably my pick. I could reach for DJ Moore here, but I feel like with Thielen sitting there, as long as he stays healthy, he's got a better shot to just dominate on that team. Chris Carson, no thank you. Odell Beckham Jr., no thank you. Lev Bell, tempting, but no thank you. Juju, I am in, and then I'm out, and then I'm in, then I'm out. Allen Robinson, the target monster in Chicago. He's got his quarterback that loves to target him back and locked in because the other one opted out of the season. So that's nice, I think. I think. And DJ Moore. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Thielen. And so if I can start the lead now, you only have to start 2 wide receivers. It is a full PPR, and you have 1 flex. I'll take Thielen in my flex with Julio and Devontae. I feel like I got a nice wide receiver positional advantage. And let's hope I can get a wide receiver and tight end on the next turn. That's what my thought is, and let's see what happens. So Adam Thielen to me. After that goes Chris Carson, Odell Beckham Jr., Allen Robinson, and now it's to you, sitting with Zeke Elliott, Austin Eckler, and Mike Evans.
Wow. Okay. So here's where that wide receiver pocket starts coming into play, where like the
that
next
beautiful
couple guys
wide
on my
receiver
boards,
part.
Yeah. I'm really digging that. I see Jonathan Taylor. If I want to go back to that, however, I'm not convinced he's going to get 100%. I mean, Marlon Mack didn't disappear. It is what it is. I wouldn't touch Amari Cooper with a 10-foot pole. Cooper Kupp has a lot of upside. That is tempting. Mark Ingram, I'm high on, as always. Just always a great player, no matter when his career's ended 6 times, and he's come back and put up top 10 numbers all 6 times. In this position, let's see what I got.
So Amari Cooper, DJ Moore, Cooper Kupp, and Chark are still sitting out there. It's pretty nice receivers. I can't stomach the ups and downs that Cooper tends to have, though. You?
No, I can't stomach that ever.
Ever.
And I'm actually looking. What I want to avoid doing is, like, if I take a running back, I'm almost position locked for the rest of the draft, taking wide receivers and kind of losing wide running back value.
Sure.
So I think I am looking at kind of the wide receivers in this group. And when I see Juju Smith-Schuster, he's tied to Ben Roethlisberger, which is a blessing and a curse, because what we've seen really recently is that he's really good when Ben Roethlisberger's on the field and really not great when he's not.
Sure.
I know enough Pittsburgh Steelers fans and have read enough to know that there's value there, but there's risk. So I'm looking like Zeke Elliott, no risk. Mike Evans, very little risk. Austin Eckler, a little bit of risk. So when I look and I see Schuster, Cooper Kupp, where did Cooper Kupp end last year? Wide receiver 4.
I don't have it in front of me.
4, wide receiver 4. And I'm getting him in the 4th round. That is my pick, Cooper Kupp.
All right. I dig it. Cooper Kupp, I'll scratch that off my board. All right. After that goes Lev Bell, A.J. Brown, Calvin Ridley, Juju McShue, Devin Singletary. I love that man. Y'all need to leave him alone. He's going to have a good year this year. Just watch. Jonathan Taylor. DJ Moore goes, not bad in the 4th round. The guy took DJ Moore and A.J. Brown. Interesting. Amari Cooper goes after that, and we are back to you. So just to read the first team. The first team has Christian McCaffrey, nice, Nick Chubb, Travis Kelce, Juju, and Devin Singletary. So not a bad little start for the guy. The computer that started at the 1-1.
It's almost like he's playing our strategies better than we are.
I know. Sure.
I got Zeke, Eckler, Mike Evans, and Cooper Kupp.
You're free to be free here.
Free to pick whoever I want, and there's just a player. Now, this is at the point where after the top 50, we're kind of getting into that zone where I haven't necessarily statted them all out like I have the rest of the players. But I see a player on here who's the fastest player in the NFL, who's on a run first, run second, and run third team in San Francisco. Raheem Mostert, get on my squad.
Okay, there you go. All right, after Raheem Mostert goes Robert Woods, David Montgomery, DJ Chark. Those are 3 guys I was very, very tempted to snag there. David Montgomery, the workload's, I think, going to be pretty good. DJ Chark, again, just should be a target hog out there in Jacksonville. Robert Woods is constantly disrespected. DJ Moore's gone. Sorry, I'm scratching off stuff on my sheet here. And being a little old school, scratching things out. Should put it closer to the paper so at least you guys can hear it. All right, so I said
we can hear the chisel.
I said I wanted to grab a quarterback and a tight end here. I think I'm going quarterback here, and I think it might be Dak Prescott time. So I'm looking at Dak, Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson. That's the 4 I'm looking at. I love all the targets on Dallas. I love the fact that they should be a high-scoring team. They might not be the high-flying team that Arizona plans to be. And Deshaun Watson, I like his opportunity. Russell Wilson is just a beast, but I think I'm going to lock in Mr. Dak Prescott. Welcome to my team, sir. Get Russell Wilson. Get off my screen. Stop that. There we go. Dak Prescott. Fucker. Right after
Mark
that,
Andrews. There you go.
Mark Andrews. Dang it, I should have took Mark Andrews there.
What did you say about we're playing against the computer, so you're not going to get sniped today? Is that what you said?
No, I said I think it listens to me.
Oh.
And it snipes me. Yeah, so no, we weren't going to snipe each other. That's what it was.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, see, that was so okay. So everybody listening, that was an issue of me not thinking position scarcity because I did want Mark Andrews there. I would love to back this bad boy up, but I'm not going to cheat and do that. I should have took the one tight end I wanted and still had 2 or 3 quarterbacks, knowing the computer probably wasn't going to take 1 quarterback. Definitely wasn't. More than likely, definitely wasn't going to take 2 quarterbacks. That's on me. I could have settled for Kyler and been totally fine and had Mark Andrews. Draft tilt begin. Okay, I'm going to take Ertz in the 6th round. And for some people, that might be a little early this year. I think people are fading him way too hard for his skill set. He's not that old. I mean, his tight end can't take a punch, his backup tight end. So, you never know. He might get a concussion on the field. So I'm going to grab Zach Ertz right here. And I'm going to stick true, although not to the way I wanted to do it. But that's okay. I'm sticking with it. Zach Ertz to me, then T.Y. Hilton, Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen and Mark Ingram, you guys are killing me.
Yeah, Mark Ingram is who I was looking at if I wasn't sticking to the strategy there. So
now, in real life, I love Russell Wilson. I think he's one of the best players in the league. Now, you could say stats, whatever. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks on the field anywhere. So in a real draft, that is probably who I'm taking in this spot. However, I said I'm going to stay true to late tight end, late wide receiver, and that is what I will do. Now, this next player is going to be my first on the bench. A lot of value in this spot. You got Terry McLaurin, who is probably in the worst situation, but might be one of the best players here. But the player I'm going to look at is a boomer bust, kind of a lottery ticket. Raheem Mostert, I think, is going to be good, but hey, why not another running back? I'm looking at Kareem Hunt, one of the most talented running backs in the NFL. Cleveland, I'm high on this year, but if they are losing and they're in a position to sell halfway through the season, maybe to a contender, maybe to the Seattle Seahawks, Kareem Hunt not only has value in a full PPR as a sub, but he always has that looming trade new team feel. And when that new team smell kicks in and Kareem Hunt, week 12 finds himself on a team like Seattle, he's definitely going to go back to being a top 5 overall pick in a year. So Kareem Hunt is my guy with low floor, but also a very, very high upside.
All right. After that, let me scroll down the board here a little. Sorry. After that, I do like his standalone value as well. He could easily be a little slot receiver for him this year and just kill it in PPR. Be very sneaky. I'm not going to say what I was about to say until after you pick, but
okay.
Just remind me to come back to it because I do have ADD. Tyler Lockett goes after that. Then Russell Wilson. So if you would have took him there, you weren't far from when the computer was taking him. Then Darren Waller, Terry McLaurin, which I would love to get. No way I was getting him as far as I was. But then Deshaun Watson and Kyler Murray. Damn it. Okay, Cam Akers, then DeAndre Swift. Here goes some rookie running backs coming off the board. We're back to you, and your team is getting a little running back thick here, buddy. Getting a little running back thick.
And that's fine because we are in another wide receiver pocket.
That's right.
You have Cortland Sutton up next, the player who I love. Stephon Diggs, who's a big question mark. Buffalo doesn't throw the ball quite as much as I might like. And A.J. Green, a question mark with those injuries. That is where we are. Devontae Parker, I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. If you've ever owned Devontae Parker in fantasy, you know why. I'm taking Cortland Sutton here as my second bench piece, and if you could say that at the end of the day, you drafted pretty well. I'm okay with that.
I'm a Broncos fan, so I dig it. And speaking of digging it, Stephon Diggs goes next. Damn, segue. All right. Ronald Jones. I have this weird affinity for Ronald Jones. It's like this guilty pleasure of taking him. I think I drafted him one year too soon, and maybe all years too soon in a rookie draft, but whatever. Drew Brees goes right before me, which is fine. I'm done at quarterback and tight end. I'm happy with what I have there, so I will not be looking that way at all the rest of the draft. Now it's just stacking up on running backs and wide receivers. And speaking of that, so we got Devontae Adams, Julio Jones, and Adam Thielen as my 3 wide receivers. I fucking love that. Then we got Dak Prescott and Zach Ertz. This team is looking pretty sick to me, except at the running back position. And at the running back position, I have Leonard Fournette and oh wait, that's all. I just have Leonard Fournette.
Might be time to hit that well again.
Oh, I'm hitting the well, and I'm hitting it hard. And I said, remind me, and you didn't, but that's okay.
Hey, Bob, remember.
Bob, thanks for reminding Bob to remember. All right. So Kareem Hunt to me feels a lot like the guy that I'm pretty sure I'm taking here. Let me check and feel. It might be a slight of a reach, but I'm okay with it. And that's Tariq Cohen. Both guys, I feel, in a PPR league should have a nice PPR floor because their quarterbacks like to dump it off to them, like to play them as a second running back, not just as the third down back, and get him out there on the field. And I think in this PPR to go with Leonard Fournette, I think it's a nice pairing for me. And I'm going to take that as soon as I can find him. And don't tell me I already got drafted. I'm that asshole. Or is the computer just way lower on him than I am?
Yeah, but just keep scrolling. Keep scrolling.
Cohen? That's not how you spell Cohen. Cohen. Oh, damn. They had him buried. All right. Well, thank you for burying him. The computer didn't see him. So now finally the computer takes a quarterback. I could have had Mark Andrews instead of Zach Ertz. I am on tilt, but I'm still drafting okay. All right, so Matt Ryan goes next, and then Marquise Hollywood Brown, which I would not have taken. I don't dislike him. I just don't have any feelings for him. I'm just meh on him. You like him?
Baltimore, it would be very hard for him to get the volume that he would needed to be. However, I mean, as your third wide receiver, I guess this is 10 full PPR. It's a volume thing. It's not a player thing. I love the player. Don't love the volume.
Yeah. I get that. All right. So Hunt's gone. So I got some questions here. I'm still sitting on 2 running backs. They aren't getting much prettier. I'm content. There's so many wide receivers here that look beautiful. I could take another one, but I probably shouldn't. Like, I'm looking at Tyler Lockett, and I'd love to lock it down, but I'm not going to. And Devontae Parker doesn't actually scare me this year. I think Fitz sits out there and chucks the ball longer than we think he does. I don't know. But I need to look at a running back. I feel
there are some on the board. You got some James White, J.K. Dobbins, Marlon Mack, who is the head running back on his team.
Yep. He is. And will he keep that job is the question for him. I have 2 running backs. I don't need him to keep his job, I guess. Cam Akers, I think, is still – nope, he's gone. Okay, sorry. James White. He has been a PPR stud, but he's been a PPR stud with a different quarterback. But do we think Stidham's going to take off running all the time, or he's going to check it down all the time? You know? And is Sony Michel even going to be healthy to play this season? Or is he going to start on the pup for a few games?
Wait, did you just mention Jarrett Stidham?
I did say Stidham, and I did not mean to. Cam Newton. That was a mental fart.
It is what it is. Hey, Cam Newton, and Cam Newton loves checking down to the running back because Christian McCaffrey plays apparently 2 positions because he has 100 receptions every year.
He does. Let me get this guy on the board before I lose my timer. Spent a lot of time talking there. And I like James White there, actually, especially with Cam Newton there. I did say Stidham. Damn. That was draft jitters. That's what that was. Sorry, everyone. All right, after James White goes, Devontae Parker, not bad. Rob Gronkowski. I cannot buy that in the eighth, maybe in the 8th round. I guess if you're on the hype train and think he could be all that and bag of chips, that's fine. AJ Green, not Brown, in the 8th round. That's what I'm trying to say. It rhymed, and it's up to you, Sports Bob.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take a bit of a homer pick here.
Oh, where is home?
Home is New Jersey, about 5 minutes from New York City.
Okay.
And this player is a top 5 at his position when he's healthy. Health issues are a thing, but at the tight end position, that's absolutely fine. I will drop him and not care. Evan Ingram.
Okay.
Get on my team. As you know, an 8th round, my starting. Like I have starters and 2 bench players already. This is right about the time I want to go there. I see Hayden Hurst, who I get it, but no. Tyler Higbee, who's not even the starter on his team. I'm taking Evan Ingram here all day.
Didn't want Lockett, huh? Oh, Lockett's been gone for 2 rounds. What was up? Sometimes when you're trying to say these picks out loud and then play and then record a podcast and all right, fine, whatever.
The quarterback bubble here is like Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to say no, I'm fine. I'm going to take a player who used to be I'm not going to say used to be. He's a fantastic player. Also a speedster from Miami, Matt Breida.
All right, look at you. Loving those San Francisco boys. So I'm going to roll back these picks to the 8th round. You took Evan Ingram. Geis went next. He didn't go. Geis guys don't always go last. Then Jordan Howard in Miami, the running back aficionado who just loves to run. J.K. Dobbins, somebody's hoping for some love there. Jarvis Landry, Marlon Mack, Tevin Coleman, Michael Gallup, Hayden Hurst. You took Breida? Yep. Deontay Johnson, Brandon Cooks, and then Julian Edelman. We are to me. I'm sitting back with 3 wide receivers I like, 3 running backs I like in a PPR. If this was standard and maybe even half PPR, I don't think I'd be as excited about them, but I think I like them here. And we still have to pick up a defense and a kicker. Gross, but we did it anyway, just to see what happens when the computer does it early. I'm definitely not reaching this early, but I have 4 more picks of skill position. You have 3 more picks, and you still need a quarterback. So you have 2 more picks outside of your quarterback, unless you take 2. All right. So for me, they're showing the Washington football team on my screen. I don't know why.
There's someone who jumps out to me right here.
Well, let me tell you who jumps out to me.
You take the pick first, and then I'll tell you.
If I'm looking wide receiver, I'm probably looking at Crowder or Boyd if they're still on the board, which I think they are. Crowder feels like a target hog this year, and Boyd is very questionable with what will shake out there. So I'd probably lean Crowder. I'm going running back. I'd have to scratch off a lot more damn people. And so I'm going to do that on your turn while you're talking. Shit, it's my turn right after this. I'm going Crowder. Who are you thinking?
I was thinking Boyd.
Okay. All right. Well, at least we're in the same thought, right?
Same wheelhouse there. For me, you got Joe Burrow coming in, and he loved the slot receiver last year. Justin Jefferson was his slot in college, had over 100 looks his way. That offense is going to be better. I mean, it can't be worse, right? So if it's better, Boyd is just an outstanding player. Being the slot receiver on that team with a rookie quarterback, and look at who the rookie quarterback is, Joe Burrow. I'm all about that. That's a good pick.
Okay. Take it. Right after I took Crowder, the computer said, "I heard you, Bob. I heard you. I don't want you taking Boyd on this turn," which I wouldn't have done anyway because I do want to flip back to a running back. So thanks for listening. But they took Boyd, then Fuller. So their team, out of curiosity, is Clyde, Hill, Gordon, Johnson, Mark Andrews, Metcalf, Ryan, Marquise Brown, Tyler Boyd, and Fuller. I like my team a million times better than their team. Suck it, turn computer. All right. I'm going to see if I like a running back on the board right now. I should probably clear the word Crow out of there so I don't see Crowell on my team. Let's see. Alexander Madison could have some standalone value and be a gorgeous handcuff right there. That might be my target, I think. Could just stick with wide receiver and go Darius Slayton, who's one of my favorites. Slayton or Madison? I want a fourth running back before they all dry out, so I'm going to take Madison. Cool. It's not even my handcuff, but I feel like he could still.
It's a valuable spot to have.
I know. I'm going to do it anyway.
Unfortunately, we don't have the preseason to see exactly what the usage is going to be there.
Yeah.
Sony Michel, Tom Brady back-to-back off the board. Keyshawn Vaughn and Alexander. Well, you took Alexander Manchin. So not a lot coming to me. I guess it's time because I see a quarterback next up on the board that I really love. I want him on my team. I want him everywhere. It's because he adds on the ground, and that's very valuable to me. Josh Allen, I think his floor is raised by his rushing stats. So Josh Allen.
And what round did you just – I'm looking down. So what round did you snag him in?
The 10th. The 10th round, 6th pick.
That's pretty sexy. The computer is going late round quarterback on us almost, I feel like. So that's not too shabby, right?
Absolutely.
And here we go. We got the first defense off the board. So we got Phillip Lindsay, then Tyler Higbee, Deebo Samuel, Aaron Rodgers, Hunter Henry, then San Francisco 49ers goes to team 2, Jerry Jeudy, my Broncos love, and then Darius Slayton. So he wouldn't have made it back to me. Not that I thought he would, but I do like his upside. And it's over to you. Why don't you read off your team real quick?
Yeah, my team right now, I have Zeke Elliott, Austin Eckler, Mike Evans, Cooper Kupp, Raheem Mostert, Kareem Hunt, Cortland Sutton, Evan Ingram, Matt Breida, and Josh Allen. Now, I took a lot of those running back lottery tickets, which means if they don't pan out and I have an injury, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. I see Tony Pollard coming up to handcuff with Zeke. And as I'm looking at my team, I have all my stuff filled. I'm just filling bench out, and I want that Dallas backfield, no matter what, every week locked in. As far as ADP, I guess it's a bit of a stretch, but it's not like I'm not going to tear a hammy out here. And I'm going to take Tony Pollard.
Nice. Interesting. Am I wrong, or is Kerryon Johnson still on the board?
You are not wrong. Kerryon Johnson.
Oh yeah, he's right there. I see him now.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting pick if he's healthy. TBD.
Always a question mark.
Right. Zach Moss is almost interesting to me, but being a Singletary lover, I ain't taking him. Antonio Gibson in the Washington backfield. We were debating or chatting or twittering about that earlier, and that's a confusing place. Chris Thompson, no. I don't think anything on the running back side is jumping off the board as I must have them. I've got 2 picks, and then I got to get those positional guys in. Wide receiver wise, let's just flip over and just read down what they have here. CeeDee Lamb, no thank you. Henry Ruggs, that's a possibility. I love Mecole Hardman. That's a nice shot for this year to find out if he takes that number 2 spot or if he does not. If he does, it could be very sweet for him.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, nope. Damn it. Shit. I've been hooked on Reagor in just about every draft just because I feel like his opportunity is so high. But I feel like I got enough good wide receivers that I kind of almost want that Mecole Hardman upside. I love Reagor this year. All right, we're going Mecole Hardman. Sure, why not? After Mecole goes CeeDee Lamb and Darrell Henderson. And so I wanted Jalen Reagor. I could still do it. But right now I'm sitting here with 3, 4, 5 wide receivers, 4 running backs. I'd like a little more running back depth before I take, or maybe I don't. Actually, I might just take the number 2 defense on the board and get this party started. Kerryon Johnson's still there, who is still starting running back, allegedly.
Allegedly.
I'm putting the allegedly in there. So is that because otherwise I'm probably going to go defense and then kicker, or defense and then shot player if there's one there. But I feel like shot players are going to be there anyway because everybody's about to snag the defenses. And do I care? Am I ever going to start him? Nope. This is where I like to have fun. And Ravens, Bills, Steelers. I'm going Steelers defense there, right? You got to go Steelers. Who'd you go?
Absolutely. I'd go Steelers.
Yep. I'm going to grab the Steelers defense. So that's a little strategy. A lot of people wait till those last 2 rounds to grab your defense and your kicker, which is fine. But then you're playing the game waiting with everybody else. Yep. So I got to jump in front of line. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say the same thing you were going to say. It's kind of becoming the more popular way. If you take it before the last pick and you're not strapped to your draft position, because otherwise you're taking the 7th if you're in 7th.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yep. So after the Steelers went, Latavius Murray went, then Henry Ruggs, and then the Baltimore Ravens defense went. And now we're over to you. You've got your quarterback, you've got your tight end, you're stacked up on wide receivers and running backs, and you got 2 positional pick. You got one more spot to go with.
There's 3 guys. Actually, there's 4 guys, and I guess I'm used to 12-person league, so I'm surprised at how long the depth is. So I'm going to use this as my last time to actually talk about players. Kerryon Johnson, okay, supposedly he's a starter. He probably has some value here. Duke Johnson is a player that I'm looking at, and as I mentioned him before, Boston Scott in Philadelphia outscored Sanders in the last 4 weeks of last season. So those are all guys that I see with value. But when I see here is Stephon Diggs replacement Justin Jefferson. So much value. This is why I'm going to make your own rankings. Sleeper has him 129th. When we have regular 12-team leagues starting this year, he's going to be starting on whoever drafts him is going to start him. So that's huge value late in the draft. Justin Jefferson from Minnesota.
Welcome to your team. All right, after Justin Jefferson goes to you, Carson Wentz. Wow, Carson Wentz in the 12th. Kerryon Johnson goes next. There we go. We were talking about him. They were listening. Jared Cook, Chase Edmonds, the Patriots D. Somebody's hoping they're the same as last year. Don't think they will. Justin Mother Tucker goes next. Buffalo Bills defense, then the Bears. Here's that defensive run. What are you going to do? There's a lot of D's on here.
I gotta have to take a defense. I don't really have to say I haven't really done my homework on defenses yet.
That's okay. We're not judging it here. So
the week before. But one team that was in absolute rebuild mode at the end of last year, but it ended up putting some good numbers on the board, replaced some pieces in the draft. The Minnesota Vikings. That's the only team that really sticks out. I don't want the Chargers. I don't want the Bucks. I want the Minnesota Vikings. So they are on my team.
You. Come on. Fuck! Damn it. Shoot. Okay. So right after you took the Minnesota Vikings, which is a nice pick, Noah Fant went. That's fine. I was really hoping I could get Justin Tucker or Harrison Butker by going one round earlier, because those two, if you're playing in a league that has kickers, take a damn kicker that's on a team that's going to score a crap load of points. And who's scoring more points than the Baltimore Ravens or the Kansas City Chiefs? So that being said, let's go. We could go with Will Lutz or Zerline here. I think that would be great. Or
Zerline on a new team. On a new team. Zerline left the Rams. He is now with the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, don't scare me. I was like, what do you mean he's not on the Cowboys? They did not update this? Yeah. Yes. So I loved him on the Rams last year. He was on my 1 or 2 stupid leagues that had him. So I'm going to go. Who's going to score more this year? Is it going to be I think the Cowboys are going to score more than the Saints. Personally, I don't know that. I didn't stat that out. That's more of a gut feeling, just because I like the overall team feel. So I'm gonna go with Yeah, sure. Who cares? It's a kicker. Shut up, James. After that goes the Buccaneers, then Will Lutz. Damn it, I was gonna stack him. No, I wasn't. So let's get these kickers off my screen. Let's look back at running backs. Antonio Gibson in Washington. No, thank you. Duke Johnson is still sitting there. Boston Scott still sitting there. Damian Harris, Justin Jackson, A.J. Dillon, Naheem Hines, LaShawn McCoy, Josh Kelly. I'm just seeing if anybody's buried down here. Darrington Evans. That is another handcuff shot play that I like to take. but I'm not doing it here.
One of my favorite, if you're in a deeper league, Darrington Evans for sure.
Yep. I completely agree because I've been snagging them. We got Kristen Kirk, and you know what? Look at that. Jalen Rager is still waiting for me. I cannot not take him.
It's destiny.
If he's waiting for me. But let me just tell you who's passed him since I have 2 minutes and 5 seconds on the timer. Sammy Watkins is still out there. If Sammy Watkins could not be Mr. Lego Shoe and could not be so undependable, can he be the guy that we thought he was when he came out? Could he have that breakout? He could. I'm not taking that chance on him, but he could. Deshaun Jackson, no thank you. Sterling Shepard, no thank you. Anthony Miller, Brandon Ayuk, I just don't love San Francisco passing squad, passing whatever you want to call it. Preston Williams, no, I'm sticking with my guy, Jalen Rager. I've taken him, I think, in just about every draft. If you're in my leagues and you take him, I'm going to punch you in your balls. Don't take him. All right, after that goes Young Ho Koo, Los Angeles Rams, Robbie Gould, and guess what, buddy? You get to take your kicker.
Back up to me. So I'm actually going to do a real boss move right now.
All right.
I'm not going to draft the kicker.
Oh, wait. Okay.
Well, did we say we had to?
Explain that theory. I love that theory. I will do that theory, but explain it.
So the theory is, and I've even found myself doing this almost with quarterback, where you just can find a streamer. Right now, there's so much uncertainty with COVID. You know your leagues are going to have extra IR spots and all this crazy stuff going on. If there's no mandatory roster fill, meaning you need to fill out all the spots on your roster, don't take a kicker. Just take another lottery shot. Take a handcuff guy. Take someone who normal years when you have a full training camp and preseason games, someone who might step up and take that lead job. There is still value in a 10-team league in the 14th round. In fact, there's a lot. Just a couple of guys who are jumping out are Golden Tate from the New York Giants, who kind of counts as receiving back plus a slot plus a screen guy. I see Carlos Hyde, who is a very good running back. He's not always in the best situations, but in Seattle, they're begging for someone to step up and take that lead role. So I like him there. Alan Lazard could be the number 2 on his team. In Jacksonville, if I wasn't running back heavy already, Chris Thompson is, the scat back galore. You got Darrington Evans, and actually, you know what? That might be kind of
wait. Don't hit it yet, though. Don't hit it yet. I need to make a prediction.
Cool.
My prediction is Team 2 takes Matt Stafford. That's my prediction. Go ahead.
He doesn't have a...
He has Kyler Murray, but he's already got his kicker and defense, so he's going wide receiver, quarterback, running back, and I think he's going to take Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford in the 14th round? Why'd you waste money on Kyler Murray? Jeez. All right, it's back to you.
Absolutely. So, in this spot, I would go either Darrington Evans or actually Boston Scott, who I think are the two best kind of handcuffs left on the table. So you can plug either one in and pretend that I drafted him there.
The full PPR, and they're going to need receivers.
Oh, yeah. We'll go Darrington Evans, just because we talked about
I thought you were going to go Boston Scott. Come on. Yeah!
Matt Stafford, look at that.
Oh, damn. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell in everybody's ear.
Fantastic.
But literally, look at who they took. They took Matt Stafford, Team 2. Called it on the computer.
All right. That was a lot of fun. We have some interesting rosters that popped up here for sure.
Yep. Why don't you read off? Actually, why don't you read off yours? Tell me what you love about your roster, what you hate about your roster, what you do different about your roster.
Okay, my roster is Zeke Elliott, Austin Eckler, Mike Evans, Cooper Kupp, Raheem Mostert, Kareem Hunt, Cortland Sutton, Evan Ingram, Matt Breida, Josh Allen, Tony Pollard, Justin Jefferson, Minnesota Vikings, and Darrington Evans. Now, something I might do differently is probably like the last 4 rounds. From when I took Tony Pollard on, I was kind of thinking in my head, not a 10-team league, a 12-team league, what I would be doing in that spot, because you got to back up your studs. So Zeke Elliott, I wouldn't take Tony Pollard in this league that is on the board, but I wanted to by proxy show you, you got to back up your guys. Yep. Something I really like, obviously I love Zeke. I'm actually not the biggest on Eckler, but he fell to me there. So I think he's.
Would you have taken Aaron Jones if he didn't? Would you take Nick Chubb if he didn't?
No.
Hopkins.
I would have. No, no one there.
Kelsey,
So
Goodwin. I mean, so
I guess it was the right pick. I played the board, but I just maybe don't love the pick. I do
Sure.
like Mike Williams and Cooper Kupp. Getting those two guys third and fourth round, that's a steal. Those are second round, third round guys. Cooper Kupp with top 4 upside. Mike Williams with top 5 upside. I mean, those are guys who finished there before. So I could end up with running back 2 and 10 and wide receivers 4 and 7. I mean, that's what this upside is, and the rest is just lottery tickets. I liked Mostert and Breida where I got them. Cortland Sutton seems like he should have been drafted 3 rounds higher by me if I was taking him. Like, do you ever get that and you feel like, wait, I took Mostert and Hunt above Cortland Sutton and still got him? But I did. Evan Ingrams, if he gets hurt, which he will, goes on that IR spot and, just stream the position. Josh Allen, I love him where I got him. And I think I had a fairly good draft. Again, those middle rounds weren't fantastic, but I like the end of the draft, and I think I started strong.
Very good. Very good. All right, so here's my team. I was trying to avoid running backs early, so I went Devontae Adams and Julio Jones, and damn, Devontae Adams and Julio Jones, the only way you can make that better is substitute one of those guys for Michael Thomas. I mean, damn, I love that in a full PPR. I take it over Tyreek Hill. I take it over Hopkins this year. So I love that. That's a sweet way to start out. If you're avoiding running backs and you're in the back of the draft, it's sexy.
Yep.
Then I come around third round and I get Leonard Fournette, which, you know what, could not be all that great. But I feel like he's got to do better than last year. He's got to get some more touchdowns than last year. And the man is going to be playing for a contract somewhere because they don't seem to love him there.
Yeah.
So he's going to be trying to ball out. He's going to be trying to do everything he can so that people are just like, yeah, over my team, I'll pay you. Come on over here.
And as I've said before, and I always say this when I think of Leonard Fournette, interesting stat. He's the only player to get 100% of his team's goal line carries. He doesn't have to worry about a quarterback stealing them. He doesn't have to worry about anyone else on the depth chart there. So touchdown progression, I like it.
Yeah, what did he do? Was it 3 touchdowns last year? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head without looking.
I'll pull it up.
It was low. I felt like it was low. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else, but I felt like it was pretty damn low. After that, I took Adam Thielen. I like it. Dak Prescott is my quarterback. I'll take that. And then Zach Ertz is my tight end. This is where I screwed up, didn't think. I should have took Andrews. I don't dislike Ertz, but I would have liked Andrews better because that hype train is still rolling strong for him. And I think I still could have got Dak on the swing back. So that's my biggest, I feel like, blunder, and it wasn't even that painful, luckily, because I was so close to the turn. I was still able to take Zach Ertz, who I was willing to take in the 6th. Could I have gotten him in the 7th round? I kind of doubt it. I think he would have went later in the 6th when Team 2 took Waller. But who knows? After that, Cohen, James White, Jameson Crowder, Alexander Madison, Hardman. Then I snagged an early defense and kicker. I got a little positional advantage. And here's the crazy part. I was going to take Jalen Reagor at 12, but because so many people hadn't taken a kicker in defense, I was only really fighting against, let me do this real quick, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope, not even. 7. I was 8. 7. I was fighting against 7 positional players that were taken before I got to the guy I wanted. So it's a little sneak move. If you have to have a kicker in the defense in your league, work it to your advantage. Don't wait to the very last minute unless they've all been taken. Some leagues, San Francisco goes way earlier than 11.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh goes way earlier than 12. The computer was they were just letting it fly. I think they were following our lead. They were listening. I don't know what they were doing, but it was nice. Basically, I love my team. I would take this team all day long. Anybody I don't want on my team, I mean, to me, Madison is the biggest. If someone's getting cut, it's probably Madison or Hardman for a bye week injury replacement if I have to do it. Eventually, I gotta get someone to sub in for my tight end and my quarterback.
Yeah.
Also, a personal preference to me, and damn it, I did it in both. No, I didn't. I did it in one. So I try not totally intentionally, but in a lot of leagues, you think trading's going to happen all day long, but it doesn't always happen.
Yes.
You think waiver wire is going to happen all day long. They don't always happen.
Last year, there was no one on the waiver wire.
Right.
It was one of the most barren waiver wire years we've had in a long time. And, I hear that a lot from people. I'm going to draft this guy's handcuff and snipe him and then trade the handcuff back.
Nah.
Well, your trade value, it does not go up to a 5th round pick. It's still the 12th round pick that it was when you made it.
Yeah. So you had that factor, but I personally, if I'm only going one quarterback, one tight end, I try not to, if I'm paying attention, which I wasn't there, I try not to take them in the same round, so I don't have to stream 2 guys on 1 week. I can only burn 1 roster spot to stream if it's a small roster.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I know a lot of people don't do that, but I personally like to. And then if you're playing in a league that has defense and kickers, also streaming positions. So I've got Zerline and Dak Prescott both on bye week 10. I still would have probably taken it and said screw it and just did what I had to do to get my W's. But I like those guys. But in general, especially if I'm getting more of a later kicker, later defense where I'm like, I don't give a crap about this guy, I will let the bye week prevail and push me to the next guy on my board if I have to not have to stream. What's your thoughts on that?
I think that's a smart way to play. I think that's a very smart way to play the bye week. I don't care when I'm drafting running backs and wide receivers. I don't necessarily look unless I notice, oh wow, there's 4 guys with the same week, I'm screwed. Sure. I don't even factor that in. But that's a great point you make when you have only 1 quarterback and only 1 tight end, only 1 defense and only 1 kicker,
and a narrow bench.
In a narrow bench. This also I've never seen 14 round drafts are not the norm anymore. But I would definitely consider, taking definitely a tight end and quarterback in different bye weeks, and then, defense and kicker.
Awesome. Well, that was a ton of fun. And as soon as I get my 20-year-old in here to teach me how to screenshot this and put it up on Twitter, we'll put it up on Twitter for a little fun to see if people thought about it. But most importantly, Bob, I had a great time, as usual, with you on the show. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you. Why don't you give us a closing thought if you have one, and also tell people, once again, where you can be found before I sign us off. And people don't go anywhere. He's talking.
My final thought is this. There's a lot of people in the fantasy community and the football community in general who are rooting against this season to happen, and it makes no sense to me. I want to do everything we can to get these players safe and to make sure we have some football this year. Plan your contingencies, plan for the people getting sick and getting hurt, but just get excited. Just get excited. Watch our channels because that helps us. Thanks for having me, and let's do this again sometime. Bob at I80 Sports, www.i80sports.com.
All right. Love it. And I am also a Bob on Twitter at Bob's Three Toed Warriors, on YouTube at Bob's, on Twitter at Bob's Three Toed, on YouTube at Bob's Three Toed Warriors. And shows are Monday and Thursdays. Live streams currently on Wednesdays. We'll be switching Tuesdays, but currently on Wednesdays, and the replay on Saturdays. So that's it for this show. It's been Bob's Three Toed Warriors and another Bob, the other Bob, saying soon enough you'll be able to hit the waiver wire, set your lineups, and dominate your opponents. But until then, see ya. Bob and Bob, getting our heads bobbing.